What is up, bullshitters?
Bullshitters!
We are here for episode 4 of Journey to the Draft. It's going to be fun shit. We got the Indianapolis Colts
Closing out of the AFC South.
done, and done. So that means roll the clip, bitch.
Hey!
What is up, bullshitters? It is
Bullshitters!
Indianapolis Colts time. You are, ladies and gentlemen, and bullshitters of all ages, mostly the adults, but you are $43.63 million in the green, which puts you 4th in the league.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
And I mean, looking at the state of the team, you're in
You're
good freaking shape.
You're in really good shape.
You're a young team.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And your team's already solid AF.
But you just brought in Carson Wentz.
Listen, here's my thing about Carson Wentz. All right, let's touch on this a minute. As an Eagle, I think he was fed up. Who do they bring in at receiver? I'll wait. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, I think with a change of scenery, I think he goes back to his MVP form.
And that's how I know you're smoking crack, because you can't even say MVP, right? And you couldn't even form your lips to say that Carson Wentz could be an MVP to say those initials. So
I don't think he'll be an MVP, but I do think he goes back to that form where like he starts maybe slipping into some conversations.
Not even a top 10 quarterback next year.
You heard it here first.
You heard it. You can quote me on that shit. Carson Wentz, not a top 10 quarterback next year.
That's
so, to trim the fat, re-signings, none. Don't do it.
You're not re-signing anybody.
No, I'm not re-signing anybody. I'm not re-signing freaking another tight end so I can have a tight end battle of 4 tight ends, because that makes sense to have 4 tight ends on your depth chart. Continue. Who else shall I re-sign?
I would honestly sign Mo Alley Cox with possibly cutting Trey Burton, to be honest with you.
That would be your move?
I mean, that'd be one of my moves.
I mean, that's a terrible move, but please continue.
I would also re-sign Malik Hooker.
You can't. You already gave up his 5th-year option. He won't come back to you.
True. But you gave up that 5th-year option so you can maybe possibly sign a long-term deal for what he's worth.
They don't want it.
We'll see, dude. Who else you're going to have?
I mean, free agency, brother. Free agency.
Very true.
Just wait. We have some good shit for the Colts.
Speaking of which,
let's jump right into free agency, shall we? I'm going to go say ahead and since you got the money, go ahead and get you a Bud Dupree.
Oh, no.
Yes, get you a Bud Dupree. Get to the quarterback, my man, because the Steelers pretty much said, you can go fuck yourself after they sign Cameron Hayward.
Yeah,
and
you fill in that slot that Justin Houston filled.
Right. And not only that, TJ Watt's going to be wanting, somewhere up to like $30 million in his contract.
Yeah.
And he had an ACL tear in week 12. So, he could go on a 1-year prove-it deal. I would take Bud Dupree on a prove-it deal. And with that defense.
With the upside of the ceilings being so high?
Right. Like, I would go ahead. I would do like a little 1-year deal, whatever gets him to you, and then see how he does. And if that's the case, man, you're on and popping.
I mean, the option's there.
That would be nasty. I would love to talk about Bud Dupree on the Colts defense.
You would
But
definitely put him in the championship talks.
oh, for sure. I would also put him in the talks for championship if they did this next move, and you need to splurge on Chris Godwin
Ooh, let
because
me tell.
you're not bringing back Ty because he's what 30 plus and regressing terribly.
Right. Hey, listen, you make this move, you still have Pittman Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
who is not giving up the number 11 jersey for Carson Wentz.
Right,
Might I add?
right.
And you're also don't they have another young receiver? I thought they drafted like back to back young receivers.
And then you have those 8 tight ends.
No, it was just Michael Pittman. That I was thinking of.
So go ahead and splurge you on that.
Yeah, get that. Get it.
Get you a Chris Godwin.
He can honestly be a true number one
Right.
in your offense.
And then I'm gonna say go ahead and get in the Trent Williams sweepstakes.
Ooh, I do agree with you on that one. You have to protect the blind side of Carson Wentz. Give him more time than what Philly did. Philly disrespected the man. I'm going to be honest with you.
And you're gonna have Quentin Nelson on that same side.
Yes.
So if I'm Jonathan Taylor or whoever they're gonna start, Neem Hines, whoever they want to start, I'm licking my chops if they get Trent Williams.
You have Trent Williams. Then you put Ryan Kelly in the center position from Notre Dame.
Yep.
Please.
It's on, brother. And then my last one, I would do safety Justin Simmons.
Oh, from Denver.
You need to spend money, bro. Pro Bowler this season. Okay, 96 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 5 picks, and 9 passes defended. And all I'm saying, dude, is he's a talented defensive back. He is ranked the number 1 safety in free agency. And you need to cash in if you're the Colts on that shit immediately.
I'm gonna throw another name at you since you're getting rid of T.Y. Hilton. You bring in a Chris Godwin, but you also can bring in a big-bodied wide receiver, Josh Reynolds.
Ooh, from the Rams.
Yep, you bring him in. He's not your superstar wide receiver, but that's why you have Pittman and Godwin. But then you have this big body, very consistent wide receiver. He's been on the field at his last 750 snaps.
What about Corey Davis here too?
Corey Davis. Oh, now you're spending some real money, but worth it.
But you have it. And then lastly, to finish out my free agency, I would go ahead and just do this experiment with Jadeveon Clowney.
Oh my. So you would get Bud Dupree and Jadeveon Clowney on opposite ends of each other? Because they're most likely running a 4-3.
To pair up with Justin Houston?
Well, you're not re-signing Justin Houston.
Right.
He's a free agent.
If you don't, I'm just saying I wouldn't, but if you do, then I would go with Justin Houston, Bud Dupree, and I would still bring in Jadeveon Clowney, do a little bit of that rotational.
I mean, given the injury on Bud Dupree, you could
rotate
him and Justin Houston, keep the old man healthy, and keep Bud Dupree healthy.
Right.
I like it. That's a championship style defense right there, bro.
Right. I don't really, besides wide receiver, I don't see in them maybe picking up Trent Williams. I say it's mostly you're going to see them shoot for defense.
I would try to get another cornerback.
Ooh. Maybe, would you get a Richard Sherman?
I would bring in Richard Sherman or AJ Bouye.
Ooh.
Some veteran presence. You have Rockinson, and Xavier Rhodes is on a free agent this year too. So I wouldn't worry about bringing him back, but I'd bring in a Richard Sherman to go opposite side of Rockinson.
I definitely would too.
And then put in AJ Bouye in the slot. You have the money to do it. You have the money to do it.
They have the money to make this team freaking make the Chiefs and Buccaneers piss in their pants, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you put them in championship talks, and you silence the talks of the Chiefs going back to back Super Bowls in the AFC.
Right.
As long as Carson Wentz gets it, I think you're in good shape.
If he gets it to click, that offense and that team is clicking.
Because the Carson Wentz that I'm imagining, bro, is the Carson Wentz who I was watching play the football team, and there was like Ryan Kerrigan, two other defensive,
And he's just
players.
out.
No, he's they're all around him with all the offensive line and this big old huddle, and all of a sudden you see Carson Wentz exit stage left and throw like 30 yards down the field. Like you had him down.
Won't happen. Anyway,
that's the Carson Wentz I'm imagining on the Colts.
let's get to the draft. Let's draft some rookies.
They have the number 21st overall pick in the 2021 NFL draft.
And with that pick, I would like to select Jalen Mayfield, offensive tackle from Michigan. In case your Trent Williams doesn't work out, in case you don't miss out on Alex Mack, these offensive linemen that are out there in free agency, pick you up a Jalen Mayfield.
That would definitely be a solid point. Put him in the tackle slot, solidify that offensive line for Mr. Eagle there.
Who do you got? Who would you draft?
I'm going completely opposite, bro. Same side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback from the University of Alabama.
You're taking Mac. Oh my gosh.
He doesn't have to start right away. He can learn that offense.
Wow.
He can sit there and learn that offense. You can play under Carson Wentz, who is being reunited with Frank Reich. So you got to
let me pose this question for you, buddy. Quick question. Carson Wentz last year, he got a quarterback drafted, and it ended up this way. How do you think he's going to feel if you go ahead and pull the trigger and draft Mac?
Well, the thing was, in Philly, there was a lot of turmoil before that. And then they went and got a quarterback. But if you come out and say, all right, our guy is Carson Wentz. He's being reunited with Frank Reich. That's when he was having his best years in Philly.
Right.
So he's going to come out and have his best years in Indianapolis. But we're also saying, we're going to bring in a Mac Jones for our future.
I can see it. I think it would just piss Carson Wentz off all over again.
It could, but
what does it matter? It's Carson Wentz.
It's Carson Wentz. But then again, what if you get the Carson Wentz that you had in Philadelphia?
Which one?
The one of later years. The one we're known and used to seeing right now. Mr. Grasstein himself. Right. I mean, the Colts have the all white uni, so
prepare to make them look like the Jets.
You might want to get some Tide stain removal stuff.
Invest in it immediately.
Absolutely. So that's why I would say pick up Mr. Quarterback Mac Jones.
I like it. I hate it. It disgusts me. I love it all.
My other option would be getting Jalen Phillips, edge rusher, out of Miami.
Ooh. That's a good one.
If you had to go defense here.
So what do you give what stamp do you give the Colts?
Contender.
I give them window is wide fucking open. You need to go through it immediately.
Yeah, they played it safe last free. They played it safe last free agency, not splurging too much.
But that was the time.
I think it's when you drop dollar bills and be like, look,
yep,
time to get our second Super Bowl.
Yep.
So that's all we got for the Indianapolis Colts. We have you rebuilt. I'm sorry. We have you as a strong contender for the Lombardi in 2021.
AFC champions.
Are you calling that right now?
No.
That's what I thought. All right. I have them going a strong 11-5.
Repeat. I have them repeating the same as last year, 11-5.
So
they'll lose close ones, but I don't think there'll be any blowouts at all.
No, especially with that defense, bro.
Might be like
going to keep you in the game.
Exactly.
So there you have it. Indianapolis Colts 11-5, strong contender for the Super Bowl, Episode 4, close out the AFC South. Tune in next time for the NFC South for the next 4 episodes.
Thank you, bullshitters. Like,
Check out the
comment, subscribe.
Check out the description for our link tree, which has all of our links for our store. It has a Patreon. I would consider being a Patreon for members' perks. Also, if you become an elite Patreon, which is elite bullshitter, you can earn cool fucking merch. Check us out. We out.
Peace.